this webinar for a later use. So if you have to leave early, or if you want to have another go on this, this webinar will be online on our website at a later stage. Okay, it would be great if you could just quickly use the function of raise your hand, so I understand that you're all there and listening, and that you actually can hear me as well. Yep, I see a few hands coming up. That looks good. Great. Thanks for that. And let's continue. In our agenda today, we have a quick overview of what are the tools and what are the platforms that we can use for photo sharing. We will then go into Pinterest as a demonstration, as an example, because this is a very emerging platform that is very active in the last years. We'll go through Pinterest and explain a few advantages what Pinterest could do for you, for your business and for your product presentation. We will give you a demonstration of how Pinterest works and also a live demonstration as mentioned. To put this, or to put photo sharing into a big picture, let's see what are the benefits, again, from social media. Many of you who probably have attended other webinars so far know this slide very well. Social media and photo sharing is a part of social media, definitely, has a couple of benefits. It's not just to present your business or your product itself. It is also to get lots of feedback, because you have this two-way communication with a customer or with a potential customer, and they give you lots of information of what they like, what they don't like, and how they interact actually with your content. And of course, you also have a viral effect through sharing of those information, and that's where photo sharing comes into the game. It is just about sharing nice images, sharing nice experiences, sharing scenic pictures of moments that people have actually experienced, and this viral effect is what we want to use with any social media platform. We also know that people who follow us on any social media platform actually have and show a higher loyalty and display, or have actually more interaction with us and our products. So this just to explain where photo sharing sits in the big picture of social media. There we go to the next slide. The benefit of social media is, or why it is so easy to use, is it is a human behavior. People like to share their moments, people like to share what they do, people like to share where they travel, and we can see currently that especially photos is something that can share easily through many different platforms. So sharing information and sharing what they do and experience is what we need to use for our businesses, and that's where photo sharing comes into place. And something we know, and that is a nice statistic here, is 30% of travelers share photos on social media to make friends and families jealous. I do this almost, I would say, every day when I'm traveling in the region. I take photos of every destination, of everything I do, and share this with my colleagues in the office, because I know they will be very jealous seeing me traveling around Queensland. And this is something we need to use. This kind of behavior is what we have to use for our business, for our products, because right now the traveler is just using effectively this behavior, or they're following this, and this behavior could use or play a benefit for a business. Okay, so who's out there? There are three main platforms that we would work on when it comes to photo sharing. The first one is Pinterest, the second is Instagram, and then there is Flickr. Flickr is actually the oldest photo sharing platform that is there that we can use. And all these platforms have different features and a different focus, as you can see. Where Pinterest is more, let's say in my own words, a platform where people go to see glamorous pictures and to create a bucket list of things they like to do. For example, of things to do in where do I want to go in my honeymoon, or what are nice places to go if I want to go to a nice beach destination, or even other things like I personally I'm very into renovating. So if I have my 20 minutes on the train to work, I actually sit there on the train and just browse through nice pictures of the day to see what do other people in terms of renovating. And as soon as I see a picture that is of my interest, I just save this into my own board. I repin it effectively, and at a later stage when I have, let's say, time and money, I may use it and I may do it, and I go back to that page where the picture is coming from and get an idea of how to do this. So this is Pinterest. Pinterest is about a bucket list of dreams, hopes, and plans of the future. Instagram is more a user-generated platform. People or our customers and travelers use their mobile phone to take a picture of the current moment, something they experience in that second. They take that picture and they share this picture to their friends and followers on Instagram. It is more the sharing the experience at that stage in that moment. And Flickr is, as it is a bit older, is more to save all my pictures, all my photos that I have taken on, let's say, a drive, and it's kind of the memories of my life. I know once they're on there, then they will never be deleted, and I can have access to them whenever I want to. So just to give you a nice, overview of what or which platforms are there to use, we will now have a deeper view into Pinterest, as this is the most emergent platform currently and has many benefits. For example, we know that Pinterest is the third most popular social network behind Facebook and Twitter in the USA, and that is quite big. I don't know who of you have not heard of Pinterest before. If you haven't, well, this tells you that Pinterest is a big network and has many users and many active users on there who work on this platform every day. Pinterest is also the fourth largest traffic driver worldwide. It drives more traffic to websites than YouTube, Google+, and LinkedIn combined, which is, in my own words, really huge and very impressive. And this is something we need to use. This backlink that Pinterest creates to a website is something we can use for our own traffic strategies. 18.6% of the visitors on travel websites were also on Pinterest. And this is something that is interesting to see. That effectively means people get an opinion of where they want to go or what they want to experience on Pinterest, and from there they start narrowing it down to a website. That means they have already an idea of where to go or what to do or where to stay from Pinterest, and then they see and show, okay, where else or where especially can I go, and then they come to your website and find out what else to do, what else can I experience. So this just shows the process of how people actually use Pinterest or photo sharing platforms in their planning and researching stage for traveling. And good to see as well, the average time spent on Pinterest is 16 minutes, although I have to say only within the visitor group of 24 to 34-old mums. They were the first drivers of Pinterest. But still, that is huge, and other groups on Pinterest are spending similar time on Pinterest as well. And if you compare this to our own websites, you usually are quite happy if you get to spend time with a visitor about 3 minutes. You're quite happy with that usually. So if you see that Pinterest, you could have 60 minutes. You could have a customer or a traveler 60 minutes spending on your own Pinterest account. That would be a huge time, or a great time span to actually interact and communicate with this traveler, this customer. Okay, a few statistics just to demonstrate what is Pinterest and why is Pinterest so interesting for us in the tourism industry. Let's go into Pinterest to see what is it and how does it look like. Here you can see this is a nice slide of Tourism and Events Pinterest account. I have taken this screenshot a while ago, and you can see on Pinterest you have different boards where you can actually put your different pictures into a category where people can just go into like this category turtles, and they see all the pictures about turtles that we have pinned on here, or koalas, or locations, or destinations like the Sunshine Coast, or like Townsville, or specific topics, for example the Queensland block. We will go into this specific board at a later stage as well. So this is how the Pinterest account looks like for either a business a profile or a private profile. We will go into this with more information and more details in just a minute. There's some lingo that you probably have heard already that we need to understand if we talk about Pinterest. One, there's a pin that is effectively the picture that we actually upload to Pinterest. That's something we call the pin. A repin is if I go to your Pinterest account and I find a picture that I like and I pin it into my own board because I want to go there at a later stage to see or to receive more information. This is what we call a repin. And all pictures and all repins are located on a board. And a board is usually, what I said earlier, a categorization of how you organize all your pins. Okay, this is all we need to understand of how Pinterest works and what kind of lingo we have to use. There are different ways of how we actually can pin. We can be on Pinterest itself, and we can just upload pictures on there, and we can repin pictures into our accounts. There's also a function available to have Pinterest in a bookmark, and you can just go and click on this bookmark, and this function or this feature will actually pull all the pictures on the current website out and ask you which to pin to your Pinterest account. In the middle you can see there is a little button called Pin It. That is something you will see quite often on a blog, which is, let's say, the easiest solution effectively to get a picture from a website into your own Pinterest profile. Or the other way is you simply enter the URL or you upload the picture on Pinterest manually and pin it into your board. We will demonstrate how to pin and how to repin things in just a minute. Here's a little case study for your understanding. I just quickly demonstrate what we do from a, let's say, Queensland perspective and why we use Pinterest. Effectively what we want here is we want to drive traffic to our websites, especially our blog and Queensland.com, as well to YouTube. We therefore upload and repin pictures into our account and create a link back to this specific website. It is also a really nice way to actually interact and engage with a global audience and to share our stories. Important is that you need to learn and to find out once you work on Pinterest that what does your audience like, what kind of pictures do they prefer, and which pictures do they actually do not prefer. You can see this quite easily in your repins. If you can count how many people or how many people actually repin one of your pictures, and that's where you get an idea from of what is the most favorite category or the most favorite pictures for your audience. And make sure you somehow find a unique niche that is unique for you, unique for your business, and unique for your customers to have something special that makes people come back to your account and to follow you, so they want to see your pictures. Okay, I can show you a quick screenshot of what pictures our audience currently like the most. And we can see here at the top left that nice beach is our top repin picture. The second one are the wrecks on Morton Island, and we can see we have quite scenic views of a destination or a place that people like. We also see that animals and infographics is something that people like to enjoy. But again, this really depends on your own audience and the people that follow you on Pinterest of what works well and what doesn't. Okay. Pinterest is not just, again, like putting photos up there. You can also use Pinterest to actually run competitions and to get more attention through Pinterest, as we have done here on this screenshot. This demonstrates an earlier competition that we have done to actually see what kind of competitions can you do in on Pinterest. And effectively what you're after, what you want to do if you do a competition on Pinterest is to make people sharing your pictures. Yeah, you motivate them, you give them an incentive to share your pictures, to upload your pictures, to mention you within the description or in the hashtag, and yeah, people start talking about you or your pictures. Okay, this is, let's say, the theoretical content that I had to provide to give you an understanding of what is Pinterest and why is Pinterest so important, or why can it be important for us as a business operator. From here we start into our live demonstration of how Pinterest works, and I hand over in a second to Kayla. Kayla is a digital content specialist here at Tourism and Events Queensland. Sorry, and she's looking after the Queensland consumer-facing digital content and also the social media approach. That includes writing, and she's also working with website tool developments, and she is looking after all the social media presence like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and all the others. I share my screen now, and in just a second, Kayla is online. Okay, Kayla, from here I'm handing over to you.
So, hi, I'm Kayla, and I'll be taking you through Pinterest today.
Can you guys hear Kayla at this stage? Can you, if you can you please quickly just raise your hand? So no hands coming up, so we can't hear you yet, Kayla. One second. Oh, that was my fault. I unmuted Kayla, so that's why you can't hear you. Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Kayla. So I look after the Pinterest presence for Tourism and Events Queensland. Let me just cancel that little fella. Cool. So I'll just be taking you through what we use Pinterest for, and just take you through sort of a normal day of what I pin and repin for Queensland. Firstly, I just wanted to take you through a good example of operator product profile that they have, and just show you a few of the boards and things that they create, I guess. So what's good about executive retreats is they're not just focusing on their product. So they do have links back here for their particular products and that sort of thing. So when you click through to the board, you're seeing these amazing photos of their product. And when you sort of, they have their URL links included in their description, but also when you get through, and this is the really positive thing about Pinterest, is that if people start to repin these images into their own boards and come back later, if they're planning a trip to Port Douglas or to your destination or to your product itself, they can go back to their board, and once they click through on that pin, it will take them to your website or your blog or whatever information is stored in the back end of the pin, and they'll be able to then book a tour or your accommodation or whatever they would like. So that's a really, really great thing about Pinterest, is those backlinks back to your site or your blog and that sort of thing. So so they're not just focusing on their products as well, they're focusing on some really big things and topics that are really popular in Pinterest. Weddings is so planning things is something that we use Pinterest for. So we're interested in people who are thinking about coming to Queensland and are looking to plan their adventure. So and weddings is another area that people plan a lot of, and they just want to see amazing pictures and things that they can go back to. So when you're thinking about creating your own Pinterest board, also think about those other things that are quite popular on Pinterest that your consumers might want to know about as well. So if you're also a wedding venue, pinning some of the photos of weddings from that venue would be a great idea. And also another big thing, a topic on Pinterest is fashion. So if I scroll down a little bit further, the Executive Retreats board has this cool board about fashion for tropical holidays. So it's not really about their product, but they're kind of telling a bigger story about what to pack for a holiday in Port Douglas and that sort of thing. So they're kind of extending their story of their product to include some of these other things that Pinterest users might be interested in. Okay, so I might take you now to our account. I just need to, oops. Sorry about that. So when it loads, this is the official Pinterest account for Queensland. If it'll come up, here we go. So we do, what's great about Pinterest for us is we can tell a lot of these different stories that we weren't probably able to before. So we can tell stories about each of the destinations through the amazing imagery that we get. We can also use those same images in a different context. So from a road trip point of view, if people are looking for a road trip holiday in Queensland, we can say this is the road trip board that you can get all your information from. Or we can focus on things that we know people like, so like national parks, natural encounters, and that sort of thing. So we are creating boards daily of different topics and different things that we can pin about. So just to take you through what's working for us in Pinterest, humour is a big thing as well. So with photo sharing, you probably see on Facebook a lot of memes and a lot of viral images that look amazing or is a funny animal with a funny saying. So for us at the moment, a lot of animal images are working really, really well. I'll just take you to one of our boards that is doing really well. So we've got a board called Animals with Attitude, and it's just about being a little bit funny with the animals from Queensland and beyond. So, and this is where a lot of our popular repins are coming from. So, for example, you can see there's a great Instagram photo of an owl with some crazy looking eyes that is one of our Instagram followers who is really amazing. And you can see that there's 129 repins and 339 likes. So, and it was pinned from our Queensland blog. So effectively, this image is out there 129 times, and if people go back to that image and click through, that's driving traffic back to our blog. So that's the really important thing to know about Pinterest. So, and some of these other animals have got quite a lot of repins as well. Weddings is another one for us that is really, really popular. So again, this links to our blog. I'll just find the board for you. I'm just trying to find that one for you. There's a lot of boards to go through, but yeah, it's another one that's really, really impressive from a repinning point of view, which all goes back to a blog on our Queensland blog, which is really amazing. So some of the other kind of images that really, really work for us, if I just maybe turn over to the pins. So this is just a chronological record of all the pins that we've recently pinned. So a lot of landscape shots, so of Whitehaven Beach, and you can see the repins underneath each one. So most of our images are getting at least one repin every time, and then obviously more popular either by a landscape or a funny animal gets more repins. So the type of content that we pin are our all of our Queensland blog posts. So all the blogs that get posted over here on our Queensland blog also go into our Queensland blog board here. So this is just a way to drive traffic back to those blog posts so we can give them more information. So people can, repin. This one's actually a really great example of the 41 Australian travel blogs and bloggers to follow in 2013. So what we're trying to do with this one is if people repin that and, put that into a Queensland board that they might want to come back later, these are the bloggers that we recommend they follow so they can find out more information about Queensland effectively. The other things that we like to do is upload some of our amazing imagery that we get daily from destinations and that sort of thing. And our Queensland bucket list is another big one. So the reason why we're on Pinterest in the first place is to make it easy for people to plan their Queensland holiday. So things like bucket lists and giving them ideas of what to do on their holiday is something that we are really interested in. So I'll just take you through an example of repinning and the different ways that you can pin. So I'll just take you to the news feed of our Queensland account. So this account, so this feed is all the people that we follow. So these are the people that we trust and we want to monitor to see if they're posting any Queensland images. So it's things like we follow a lot of travel websites, so Lonely Planet, TripAdvisor, that sort of thing, just so we can keep a tabs of what they're posting about and some of the images that get a lot of repins, so we can find similar ones for Queensland to start pinning. We also follow a lot of bloggers who are out there, a lot of travel bloggers who maybe come to Queensland and then are going to post and pin images from their Queensland trip. And we also follow things like wedding planners and that sort of thing, just so we can get a mix of what's on our screen. So today, if we have a look, there's a lot of different destinations on here, and there's no Queensland ones today. So what I might do is I might do a quick search for example, a Whitehaven Beach image, just to show you how this works. So the search functionality on Pinterest works on keywords in the description. Oh, that's my board. So we just want to do a search of everyone else's pins. And things like hashtags that you might use in Twitter also work in this search as well. So if you're pinning about your product and that sort of thing, including things like a hashtag about the destination you're in or the travel hashtag, these things work really well as well to get your images found when people are searching. So you can see here there's a lot of Whitehaven Beach images, and a lot of them are quite similar and the same. And you can see that a few have more repins than others. So we're trying to, this is also a great way to see what images in your topic or the industry that you're in or the type of product that you are, you'll be able to see what kind of images work. So if I wanted to, for example, maybe repin this image here, I just take a bigger look at it. So it is quite, it's a long pin. So long pins are also great for being more visual in Pinterest, because the longer the pin, like the more that the eye is drawn to it. The first thing I want to check is where does this image link to. So you don't want to link to somewhere where it's not going to give the user any extra information. So there's a lot of suspicious links also in Pinterest. So whenever you're repinning, just have a click on where it's taking you to and to see if that's relevant. this particular one is probably not relevant for us. The types of links that we look for are things like if it's a travel blogger who's written a blog about it, and this image is going through to that. That's kind of what we're looking for, or if it's at a trusted source, so like a news website or one of the travel websites that I talked about earlier. So I might give this one a click. This particular image has been uploaded to Pinterest, so it doesn't actually have a link behind it. So that's why it's not kind of going anywhere. So these ones are sort of safe for us to pin. So I might repin that by pressing the pin it button. And then this kind of brings up the sharing dialog. So you can choose which board it would go into. So you just pick the most relevant board. I have a Whitehaven Beach board because we know that Whitehaven Beach is quite an inspirational beach to go to in Queensland, and there's a lot, as you can see from that search, a lot of people like to do it. So and to see these images. So we've got our own board for that. I might actually put this one into the Whitsundays because that's the destination. So from here, it actually pulls through the description that someone else might have written. So this one is okay, but I might just add a few hashtags to this just so it's easily searched. So the destination, it's a beach, and we want people who are interested in travel to have a look at this. So I'm going to put a travel hashtag in there, and I'm just going to pin that. So that's how you repin from your newsfeed. So when you're setting up your account, it's good to follow a lot of different people and to find, things that you find interesting yourself that you might want to repin and let your followers know about. Cool. So now I'll just show you the pin it buttons. So on our Queensland blog, for example, we have a lot of different sharing. So if I go to the Insider Guide, for example, for Cairns, and a lot of bloggers use this. So because it is such a big traffic driver, a lot of travel bloggers you'll find using Pinterest itself. So those are really good people to follow as well, anyone that you're kind of following already. So down the bottom here we've got a few options, so Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and also the pin it button. So when I click on this on the website, what happens is it brings up that dialog again to create a pin. So, and it also comes up with the title of the blog already inside the description. So if I was a traveller and I wanted to pin this to my Queensland board, I could change that to something that I found interesting within there. So I could change that description to, oh, I really want to go to the Cairns Esplanade and see that. So, or they could just keep it as the Insider Guide for Cairns. So what I'm going to do is I've already pinned this one into our Queensland blog, and what I want to do is I actually want to create a new board for all the Insider Guides that I have on the blog. So Insider Guide to Queensland. And I can quickly, that's as easy as I need to do to create a board. Cool. And I'm just going to add some more hashtags to this. So we use Queensland blog hashtag for anything that's on the Queensland blog. We might do Tropical North because that's the destination. And we're going to add that travel hashtag as well and pin it. And it's as simple as that with using the pin it button. So have a look out for that pin it button on websites that you might be looking at just to get an idea of who's using it and yeah, how easily it is to share those images on Pinterest.